We are live here with the Craig Midgets, the opening feature for SNGP's Fast Friday. Hopefully, in an hour, we'll be seeing the practice spark up. Actually, like about a bit over an hour from here, we'll be seeing the micros popping up. I also think I need to unprivate this, so let me do that. All right, and we're gonna send this to announcements, and we're gonna send this to Evan Varney specifically. So this is going to be a 50-lap race. There's going to be 10 pace laps. 5 pace laps. So we look at our positions in the back to the front in the 45 beam racing machine. Today is going to be taken over by B2. Up ahead of that in the 545, it is going to be Dabcat. The DJS car currently starting on the podium position. The 20 Milwaukee car driven by Evan Varney. Jackson Cook taking over the 38 for today. Now this is going to be a 5 pace lap period. If you guys are not ready, this is your last chance to hop out of the car. I don't think we'll have to worry about that though. That could be 2. If you're ready, then get in your car. All right. Pace speed on the inside is going to be 50 miles an hour. Outside is going to have to go faster on the turn tower. That is going to be the speed on the straights. We'll try to make this work. Remember, no passing until you cross the start-finish line. The yellow light is out. And since Evan is having some Discord issues, I just want for Evan to focus on the stream and the lights. If the lights change, that indicates something. So we are doing alright for pacing. Remember, trying to if you have to adjust your speed, try to do so by coasting if possible. The less dramatic you make your moves, the less it's going to be an issue. It doesn't hurt to stay close to the guy on your side. Just try not to go inside of them. Alright. Honestly, 50 might be a little bit too fast, but we'll see how this start goes. If it doesn't work, then we might switch that up after the restart or something. Or we have to redo it. We'll see. 2 to go, though. As for Jackson, it probably wouldn't hurt for you to just get going a little bit earlier off, because I know that Evan's going to patch you up on the exit speed, so we'll see. Lights go black. Watch the lights. Green flags out. And it is a clean start, side by side for the lead. Jackson Cook down the inside, Evan Varney down the outside, and Jackson is going to lead us off. However, Evan Varney with the mitts up here with Dabcat and B2 side by side for the 3rd place spot, 3 wide for the 2nd place position. Evan Varney is going to carry more speed on his exit though, so in the meanwhile, the battle for 3rd place raging on between Dabcat and B2 for the first podium positions today. Dabcat and B2 with a crossover. Meanwhile, Evan Varney hunting down the front runner of Jackson Cook 38. He's been dominant in this class throughout the season. However, whenever Evan comes to race, he always makes up and humbles the field. But we'll see if that stands by today. We got about 50 laps to run here. Jackson has led 4 of them. Meanwhile, B2 has made up that 3rd place spot. Dabcat, in the meanwhile, has merged back into the 4th place spot. We look at the lap times. Evan Varney is the fastest car. Here he goes, looking a little bit down the inside of Jackson Cook, but not quite able to make any moves yet. But he's looking at the rear nerf bar, about to drive through the 38 machine. We'll see. Evan Varney down the inside, side by side for the lead position. 38 and the 20. Side by side for the lead down the front straightaway. Jackson Cook is going to take a low line down and a crossover move. 20 gets it back. Jackson Cook still right behind in that second place spot. If there's any mistakes made by the 20 car, if we see any, that could easily be capitalized by the 38. But it looks like he's been winding things down little by little, but they still have not quite left each other. Jackson is very close on pace to the 20 Milwaukee machine being driven by Evan Varney. As we are about to go into our 10th lap here. Looks like a little bit of a gap now developing for the 20 Milwaukee machine over the 38. How about between Dabcat and B2? Nothing really to report so far. The field's starting to make its way spread out. However, B2, that was a bit of a weird looking net, so maybe Dabcat could capitalize. We'll be watching these two. He makes a bit more of that, a little bit of a mistake. Here's Dabcat looking at the rear Nerf bar side by side for the third place spot. Jackson about half a second. Meanwhile, Dabcat merging back up to the third place spot. B2 currently side by side with Dabcat down the back straightaway, looking at the low portion down the straight. However, Dabcat running up high, and he will stay ahead, but B2 down the inside. B2 is going to clip that inside wall. That is going to hurt a little bit of his pace. Just allowing a slight sliver of breathing room for Dabcat, but only by about a car length, and I would not, I'm going to be personally honest, I wouldn't be comfortable in that position, but Dabcat is a cool man under pressure. Let's see if he stays that way. Meanwhile, Evan Varney ticking down the laps, currently 16 down, 17 down actually. And has built about a 1.5 second gap between himself and Jackson Cook. Jackson Cook on route for a solid second place position. Meanwhile, we're just watching to see what goes on for third. And it's pretty close here between Dabcat and B2. Both of them have been roughly on pace with each other. But it does look like the field is starting to spread out. Actually, in the meanwhile, about half a lap separating third place from the leader. You can see Evan Varney making his way down the back straightaway. Dabcat making his way down the front straight. So they are now currently on opposite sides of the track. Might become a factor later on in the race. Of course, this is non-collide racing, but there is some drivers that do complain occasionally when you drive through other cars that you might get a little lag spike. That's just kind of a theme with H-chassis and non-collide racing. There's always that slight little lag, and that could be the difference between that car in second place catching up with you. I mean, there's a big gap there for Jackson to make up here, but those little things could be all the difference. So could the spin. The spin could be a big difference, actually. We have to basically recycle ourselves and go back into single file. However, all these drivers are pretty clean, so I'm not really sure if we're going to see any of that. We haven't seen a caution in the midgets since Windridge, if I could recall correctly. We didn't see any at Milwaukee. We didn't see at Northwest Ohio, which was actually a surprise because a lot of drivers are concerned about it being a flip track. But it was clean the whole race. Last time I had anything was at Windridge back in, I believe, either the end of September or the beginning of October. So we're already going to November, and we've gone pretty much caution-free in this class. Which just a lot of these guys have started to figure out these cars. And I mean, they're tricky, don't get me wrong, but the drivers are really starting to get a good grip on how to drive these things. And meanwhile, Evan Varney closing into a lap car has about a straightaway. About 9 seconds separating B2 from Evan Varney. Which on a 12-second lap racetrack like this, that really only means there's 3 seconds to make up here. We're already over halfway done, of course, 20 to go. And Evan Varney is just ticking down the laps here at this point. Again, we got more racing to expect this weekend, of course, on this fine Halloween night. Hope you guys are enjoying Halloween, whatever they want to call it. You guys have a party, or if you're doing trick or treating tonight, that'd be pretty cool. But if you're just chilling, that's great. Come on by, see what's going on here at Track Loans. Of course, we've got 2 races to see tonight. We got the Formula Micros coming up after this, and the Rots mods. And a pretty clean midget race that seems to be close to wrapping itself up. So, we actually got new trophies this year for Spooky Night. A little bit more trophy-like, I'd say. You might see this on the front straight. We've redone the podium, actually, for that reason. And it does look like Evan is starting to close down with 14 to 13 to 12 to go on some lap cars. The first one, of course, is B2, and Dabcat could be a factor potentially by the end of the race. However, with that 4-second gap between himself and Jackson Cook, I don't really see that as being anything that's going to slow him down. At least not enough for Jackson to close down anything. As we are now in the last 10 laps to go. A completely clean race, and here is Evan Varney. About to see an on-track pass potentially between B2 and Evan for a lap car. Of course, lap cars will be allowed to get their laps back if there is a caution. But we'll see how that goes. Now, Evan becoming a part of the midst might be able to influence B2. Might be able to pick up those lines and maybe close down a little bit on Dab, but it might come too little too soon here. We currently are 8 laps to go. Evan Varney looking to the inside at B2, the lap car. Evan Varney now makes a pass, and B2 1 lap down, but just barely. They're still side by side with the leader, but Evan is going to get them on the exit. And Dabcat now the next in line for Evan Varney with now 5 to go. I don't know if that's going to be enough time. It's going to be pretty close here. We'll see if Evan Varney can pass half the field. And take home his first Spooky Night Grand Prix win, I believe. Not to mention, Evan Varney came up last week and won his midget feature when we were at the Milwaukee Mile, a track that could not be any more vastly different than this place. Evan now has 2 laps to go. Next time by will be the white flag. Dabcat about to be put a lap down, and here we go. White flag coming out. Evan Varney passes Dabcat now into turn 1. And he's got a clean track behind, clean track ahead, down into 3 and 4 to win the first race. That's Spooky Night Grand Prix. Evan Varney wins at Track Loans. Dabcat's going to finish the lap down in 3rd place, B2 in 4th. But Jackson coming home with a solid 2nd place. If we could get our top 3 to the front straight, victory lane's going to be taken up by Evan Varney. If we could have 2nd and 3rd line up diagonally, that'd be great. Alright, so, here, Dab, if you can move your car, like, back to here. And I will move Jackson's car. So we do have a podium. That'll do it. So we do have a podium here, so give it up for Evan Varney. Again, the top 3 are going to have a podium. So, if you guys want your drinks, they are over here. So, take one. So, just take one drink. it's purple. Grape flavored. Alright, so there is a podium here. Once we could do this, we will get all the drivers interviewed. Jack, head over here. And we're going to play the U.S. anthem. So for Evan, it's going to be a little bit of a delay for you, but then we'll play the other song again on the stream. Alright, so, I'm going to interview Evan through text, I think. Alright, well, congratulations to Evan Varney. We're going to get a word out from second place driver Paul Sater today, and of course, most winningest driver in the Crate Midgets this year, Jackson Cook. So Jackson Cook here, second place, couldn't quite get one like you have here in the past. If you could bring me through what happened today for you, Jackson.
I don't know. I ran a race. It was AC. Yeah, I'm just vibing now because I basically have the freaking title locked up, so I just chillax, get good finishes, and that's about it. I'm kind of disappointed. Not that I lost. I don't really care because I've won this race before, but the attendance overall, I'm disappointed about that because this is supposed to be a very big event for SOC. Usually, like, this and the Patriot Grand Prix are the biggest events of the year. And Patriot Grand Prix was, other than, like, one or two races here, absolutely sucked because nobody showed up. I don't want the same for this, but so far it doesn't look that great. But, crossing my fingers that we get people to show up this weekend because there's no need for this freaking league to die and for the big events to die because I don't want to see that. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Second place.
Alright, but congrats, Jackson Cook. Hopefully we'll see you tonight if you're available for whichever else you feel like.
Micros, maybe. Rocks mods, I'm showing up, but I'm still deciding on the micros. I might go terrorize my neighborhood and steal other kids' candy.
All right.
All right, that's fine.
All right. Thank you there, Jackson. We're gonna word out from DapCat before we start Formula Micro practice. Little last couple little chit chat here with DapCat. So DapCat here, a podium, a battle between you and B2 throughout the day.
Yes.
So what happened in today's race?
Well, Dabcat decided that it was a great idea to lose his pace in the middle of in the middle of practice for no reason. I was actually doing really good in practice, and then I threw it away like a wet napkin, and decided to absolutely bin it. And then Evan showed up. But that's kind of how the cookie crumbles. But P3 still, I managed to claw back after being an absolute. What would the Britons say? Um, Either way, after being an absolute imbecile, I finally clawed it back and understood turn left throttle, and um, and I actually learned how to drive the car again. So I think my fastest was a 12.282, which isn't that bad, but when you compare it to Evan and Jackson's ones, it's like it's a big oof because there's a full tenth between me and Jack. So yeah, big no, but yeah, I did kind of crappy compared to other races that I've been in. Um, Big upset at the Ohio Oval. I was really bummed out about that. I was doing pretty good, but it being an all green race kind of just threw that out the window. So hopefully I'll be able to find a spot to slot my P1 in here eventually. But other than that, that's kind of how the cookie crumbles.
Well, next week we'll be out at Phoenix. I believe. Actually, no, 2 weeks from now. Next week's an off week for this, unfortunately. But next
Bring
week.
back Mount.
Hmm?
I said bring back Mount Long.
Oh God. But next time out we'll be out at Phoenix. For a pretty good race potentially. That's gonna be 2 weeks from now. The Copper World Classic, of course. We have yet to have seen a caution since Windridge.
I'm a little concerned with that. um, I kind of badly want my cautions back because it, it made my racing a little bit easier, and now that there's no cautions, I have to be consistent. But no, good race. We'll do again if given the chance to.
Alright. Well, thank you there, DabCat. We're gonna set up Formula Micro practice now, so we'll be closing up the game. Thank you for turning up for today, Dab, and we'll see you next time.
Yes, maybe for micro. Who knows?
Alright. Alright, well, be sure to tune into the micros. That will be in an hour if we get that going. If not, then we'll be doing the Rots mods tonight. Whatever doesn't get ran today will be delayed to Sunday, so keep that in mind.